Hello and welcome to Cheddar's first recognized show vlog. I have the trailer backed up and ready to go. We ride at 5:11 and 5:38, so I've actually already been able to put in a quick ride on Moose, who was fantastic. And now, as you can see, I've got my braiding kit. You probably can't tell. This is my braiding kit, and I have my headphones on so I can listen to a podcast and hopefully do a little time lapse of the braids. So, time lapse now. So Cheddar's braids are sewn in. I'm fully dressed, minus my boots, and I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna go grab Cheddar and load him up, and Dan's gonna come help me with that, and hopefully we'll be on our way in just a minute. All right, here we go. So here's Cheddar in the warm-up ring at Redtail Farm. I had come over by myself and Dan met me over a little bit later to take videos and pictures. So I had to unload and tack Cheddar up and get on completely by myself, and he was really good for that. And then when we went into the warm-up, it was actually pretty empty. There was usually one or two horses in there with us before my first ride, but it was really quiet and a perfect experience for Cheddar because I really wasn't sure what he was going to think of a busy warm-up arena. I'm still not entirely sure, but it did get a little busier before our second ride, so you'll see that a little bit later. Anyways, with Cheddar, I wanted to work on keeping his head and neck set low, and before intro B, it was just walk trot, and I didn't want to tire him out, so I just did a little bit of walking, a little bit of trotting, and when I felt like he was soft and supple and listening, I decided to just kind of walk and wait for our turn in the ring. So here's our ride in intro B. My biggest pet peeve about myself this week is that I keep saluting before we fully halt. I did that at the makeover on Moose, and I didn't realize that I actually do that in pretty much every ride, which is crazy because all of my horses halt nicely. Anyways, you'll see I do it every single time, but this is Cheddar in intro B. He was really soft, he was really quiet, he listened really well. We were able to ride pretty accurately, and he held himself together nicely. Since the last time we did intro B, we practiced our center lines and halting from a trot, and you can see they've gotten much better, nice and straight. But again, I salute before we fully halt. Why? So anyways, he came out of the ring, he was really quiet, he never needed a lead anywhere, and we'll go head back over into the indoor to warm up again for training one. So this is Cheddar in the warm-up when it had gotten a little bit busier. I think I had just finished my 2 canners. Dan wasn't quite quick enough to catch me cannering. And then once I figured that they were both there, I didn't want to really wear Cheddar out, so I decided to just trot around a little bit and then give him a little walk break and then wait to head back into the ring. You can see even with more horses here, he really was not bothered by it. So that bodes well. I'd like to get him out to a bigger show with more than one ring running just to see how he handles more horses, because that's really what it's going to be like at the makeover. But he really just didn't seem all that bothered by it, so I expect he'll be okay. So back into the ring for training one. Once again, I salute like just a smidge too early, drives me crazy, and then off we go. Once again, Cheddar was really good. His right lead canter just wasn't really there before about a week ago, maybe a little over that. So when I signed up for training one, it was a bit of a stretch, but I was hoping it would be okay. And you can see later, it ends up being so good, I decided to ride through the right lead canter twice in this test. In the free walk, he saw a pony walking away from him. He got a little distracted and lifted his head instead of dropping it, but still good. So here's my first right lead canter when I pick up a right lead canter transition, and I was so happy with myself that I went on and decided to ride the canter for training 2, which was not what this test was. So I got rung for being off course, and I of course immediately knew what I did. So I went back around and apologized to the judge, and then just picked up and did exactly what I should have done the first time, picked up the canter again. But because the right lead canter has been such a problem for Cheddar, how exciting for me to actually get to ride through it twice in the single test. So I think I was the happiest person who ever went off course because I got to really reinforce that the right lead canter is actually there now. So this halt was a little bit funky. I might have actually saluted after he stopped for once, but he was a little wobbly, and so I just pushed him forward. Both of these tests actually scored really well. I got a 71 for my intro B test and a 69 in my training 1 test, which would have been a 70 if I hadn't gone off course, but like I said, got to practice it, so no complaints from me. So Cheddar's back on the trailer. We did both of his rides, and I don't think I've ever left a show happier. Haven't seen my scores yet. I assume they're fine. I did go off course in my second ride, but that just meant I got to really confirm that the right lead canter is there. He says no, but it really is. Anyways, Cheddar was great in the warm-up. He was great in the show ring. He was like, I'm so happy with him. He was great for me by myself. There's no footage of that because I was by myself with a green horse. But what a good ride. Really, really happy with him. Good boy. And then we'll go get our tests and give him a cookie. Oh, hello. Good boy. So I'm really happy with Cheddar. I really feel like this whole day could have gone either way with him, and it went so wonderfully in my favor. He gave me a little bit of trouble getting on the trailer to come to the show, and I almost scratched him then because I was worried I wouldn't be able to get him back on the trailer to come back home. And then the day before, he was also feeling a little bit back sore, and so again, I wasn't sure if he was going to be okay in time for the show, so I almost scratched him then. And I was originally waitlisted for this show, and I was contacted by the secretary the week before to see if I wanted a spot that had opened up, and I wasn't even sure if I should do that because of the right lead canter issues we've been having. So this really felt like a big gamble to show up, and I'm so glad that I did because it all went great. It feels so rare in horse showing that you actually go into the ring and suddenly all of the pieces come together, but that's actually what happened to me this week. So I'm so happy with Cheddar. I'm so happy with the way that this weekend went, and he's gonna have a couple days off and then we'll get back to work. So as always, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow along on Cheddar's journey to the Thoroughbred Makeover, consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.